All right. Let's see. That's right in the way. What do you think? No, that's the wrong way. Haha. Haha. I am not doing well with this right now. Move this whole thing over. Okay, we're gonna move the whole thing over. That's what we're gonna do. There it is. All right. Hey. Okay, so now you can see my books behind me. Hey, Otaku Girl, how are you? Shadow Wolf, what's up? Alright. So, how are we today, this morning? Welcome on Twitch, folks. If you are here, if we get some people coming on, that's going to be great. I'm going to be doing my Mind Scrambler podcast today. Make sure I'm in the right camera. That's the right camera. We got Cassie Scott over there. Oh, thank you. You love me as Hanataro. I'm a healer. Super Cesar. Whoop. Okay, look out. Oh, and your son is there. Hello, Jack. What's up? Chatting on the podcast. Yes, we'll be on the podcast today. You need to send me an email or something for the link, Otaku Girl, because I don't know how to get connected with you. I'm sure you probably sent it to me, but I get a lot of emails, so I have no idea. Shadow Wolf is off on the New York schedule. Cool, cool, cool. All of you that are over here, please go over to Twitch and follow me for sure at Spike Spencer Speaks. Because I got some stuff I want to say today, and I'm going to hang out with you guys, but I really prefer it to be over here on Twitch. I need to get some numbers up over there. Stuck in the hospital because your asthma. Dang. Sorry, Cassie. You know, my wife had suffered from asthma a little bit as well, so yeah, she's dealt with that in her past. There's a lot of things you can do asthma-wise with other positive work. I'm not saying not to go to doctors and all that. Of course, you need to. It's also, but you can also do some work on emotion work and mindset work to help with that. So I'd say take a look at that. Read some books by Dr. John Sarno. He actually talks about back pain, but he does a lot of other things, and it's just brilliant, brilliant work. It healed my back just by reading the book. I kid you not. It happened. So it's very, very helpful and very, very cool and very solid. Jimmy Ricardo, what's happening up over here? Becoming a writer. Excellent. Well, then right away. Right. Writing is fun. I know this because I wrote those 2 books. And I got more up in this noggin than I'm going to get out. And we're going to have some good times with those books. This heater is not working at all, so I am freezing my butt off for you. All you guys. You know, I could probably put you guys up here, and so I wouldn't have to go back and forth. Let's try that. Let's see if this works. What if I put you right here? Boom. See, now... There we go. Okay, so they're here and here, so it's like I'm kind of looking at everybody at the same time. Cool. Just eating some soup, Jimmy? That's cool. What kind of soup, buddy? Andy Platinum, Shinji. Well, my name is Spike. Shinji is there. Simply a character that I once played. So, woo! It's chilly up in here, y'all. Kagato, you are here. Hello, welcome. All right, everybody, tell all your friends that we are live over here. We're going to do some Mind Scrambler podcast. I'm going to be talking about being a warrior in your own life. And it's going to be an interesting one today. I just tell you where we are. I just opened up my Libsyn account, which is the account that you take to put all of your podcasts in, and then they go out to the world. So my podcast is about to launch. I'm not sure how to do that yet, but I'm working on it. And yeah, so that's coming up soon. Once I launch that, let's see if I go over here. Yeah, there we go. So once I launch that, I will start doing some some marketing for it. I really, honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I'm doing it anyway. So feel the fear, do it anyway. Cream of vegetable, cool. Some cream you want to use up. Homemade, buddy. All right, homemade soup. I make a lot of soup in this house. It's really crazy. Let's see. What else? What is that picture? I think that's a dog. All right, cool. So welcome, hang out. We're gonna chit chat for a little bit, and then I'll start my podcast. Oh, Andy, favorite soup is pho. Yes, Vietnamese pho. That is one of the best soup on the planet. I used to have the best place that I ever had it was in Houston, Texas, and it closed down. I was like, I went there for years. It was so freaking good. The second best I had was in Hawaii, in Honolulu, over at the Ala Moana area. It was a place they only had like 5 bowls. That's it. They didn't anything else. It was 5 bowls. Boom. And you go in, and there was a line by 10 a.m. already. And it was just like, okay, you go, I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. That's it. So good. Oh. I made homemade pho, but it wasn't beef pho. It was pho ga. I guess it's pho ga or pho ja or whatever. And it was chicken. Really good. Really good. So I was very proud of that. It's a long time ago, but it was good. So, anywho, that's what's going on here. Something's wrong with my hand. Sriracha. Yeah, sriracha's good. I like to throw a little bit of that hoisin sauce in there and sweeten it up a bit, and sriracha, and every bit of the basil and the mint and the coriander and cilantro. Anything they give me, man, I just tons of it. What? I didn't know that. Massive Vietnamese community in Adelaide, man. Next time I'm there, let's go do it. I'm totally going to get some of that. I'm totally going to come back to Adelaide, I can tell you that. Maybe a couple years, but we'll see. We'll get down there. We got some awesome people down there in Adelaide that we like, and we're going to go see them and have some fun, people. So, anyway, I apologize. It has been a trying morning for me, and I'm working out some of my own stuff. And it's, it's the interesting thing, guys, because when you're working on your own stuff, you know it, and you have work to do. And so I'm just letting you guys know, it's like, yeah, I have that work to do, and I'm going to do that work, and make it all count. So come to COK and cons in Texas. COK, you mean cons in Oklahoma and Texas? I have reached out to every con in the world this year, every single one of them. And so if they want me, they're going to let me know. We're in the Matrix again. Okay, cool. Yeah, message them all. Let them all know. Say, hey, we got this thing. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. So, anyway, so that's what's going on around here. I've messaged the ones in the UK as well. There's one group that manages like 10, 15 cons out there. And it's, I forgot what the name of them, but they've got the one in Birmingham, they've got one in Manchester, they've got them in London, they got them all over. And I've reached out to them, but it's one of those things where it's like, well, I reached out to you, can you put me in one of these cons? We're going to see. MCM, I did MCM years ago, and it was lovely. It was many years ago, like 13 years ago, maybe 14. Man, that was a long time ago, y'all, up in London. Well, I'd love to meet you too, Cassie. We'll see each other someplace, sometime, as long as we are all connecting here and on Twitch, and we can all chit and or chat and let people know what's going on. We'll do it. It will happen. There we go. So link to our Twitch channel. So it's on Twitch. That's right. So we're gonna do it on Twitch. Oh, interesting. I'm looking forward to this because I have no idea how to do that, and I want to be able to do that. When I ever come to Canada, I've been to every major city in Canada already, except for Winnipeg. I guess that's a major city. Every other one, and maybe Quebec. Not Quebec City. Those two I have not been to, but I've been all over Canada. So yeah, and that's because of cons for the most part. Montreal is one of my favorite cities on the planet. I love it. Not in the winter, but I will definitely be coming back. You just gotta call them all up and say, hey, get Spike here. And that's what I'm talking about. So, yeah, that's what's going on up in here, y'all. I got some notes to talk about, and a lot of Tokyo drifting in the winter. Okay. That's just called sliding. It's not purposeful. It's just like, you know what, I'm going to... So, yeah, I understand that completely. Just driving along. See, I grew up in Oklahoma City. So there was a lot of ice out there. And I remember as a kid, probably get me into child services now, but we tied the sled by a rope to the bumper of the car and drove around the neighborhood slowly on the sled. And, my uncle would be on the sled and I'd be on his lap, and they're just driving us around the neighborhood. It was like 5 miles an hour, but, now they're like, oh my God, that's terrible. You're going to kill the kid. Bunch of wussies. Anyway. You were born in Tulsa, Cassie. Cool. I have not been to Tokyo and Tulsa in many years. I don't know what happened. I went there like 2 years in a row and then never heard from them again. I don't know what I did there. I know I had fun. I love Tulsa. So I lived in Oklahoma City for a long time, and Mustang, Oklahoma. And my nephew was in Tulsa up until like last year or months ago, I guess. I don't know. Anyway. That's what's going on, y'all. Okay, so what am I going to talk about today? So, basically what I'm going to be covering today, guys, is how to take more power in your life, how to be a warrior for yourself, because that's what we need. You've got to be a warrior for yourself, and I'm going to be chatting about that in about 3 minutes or so. Probably going to be a shorter broadcast. Which is fine, and that way at least I can give you guys some tips and tools. I want to tweak your mind a little bit on how you're seeing things and how you are living your daily lives. That's pretty much what I'm going to talk about, because I don't think most of us don't step into what we can do, or we get upset and we let ourselves be let our lives be dictated by other people's actions. And I think that's my message. That's my learning for this morning, is that I was allowing that to happen, and I kind of blew up a little bit. And so I'm gonna have to make amends there, and I will totally make amends for that, because I love my family, and when you have a fight, it's not really a fight. It's just a little, there are reasons for that, and you've got to figure out what are those reasons. Why did I do that, and how do I fix that? And yeah, you're working through that right now. Exactly. So it happens, and especially when everyone's cooped up in the same house, if you've got several family members, that can get really, really trying, especially when you're used to living on your own for many, many years, as I did. So, awesome, Andy. We're going to give you some. Andy, I don't see you over on Twitch. Let's see if we can get you over on Twitch. And Cassie, you too. Everybody, come on over to Twitch as well, if you can do it. I'd appreciate it. I'm at Spike Spencer Speaks. We are going to get these numbers up, and we are going to get this thing out there, and people are going to start watching and looking and learning. And I'm excited about that, because it is happening. It is going to happen, and it's going to get better. It may take 50 or 100 podcasts. I don't know when it's going to do it, but I've got a lot to say, and I'm passionate about saying it, because I know this is stuff that I can help people with. I was put on this earth for a reason. And Twitch exclusive giveaways. Oh, we're running Twitch exclusive giveaways. Are we? I have no idea what we're doing at that point in time. We'll talk more about that, Gigato, because I don't know. Okay, so it is 9:15. It is time for me to start the podcast. So as most of you know, when I clap my hands 3 times, bam, 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 I am going to start my podcast, and I cannot answer any questions or talk to you guys until I am done. All right, so here we go. My podcast begins now. Hello, hello, and welcome to my podcast, the Mind Scrambler Podcast. I am Spike Spencer, your host. How are you today? I hope you're feeling good. It is a... Whoops. Oh, gotta turn that off. It is a wonderful day. It is a wonderful sunny day out here in California. It's like, gosh, I don't even know what the temperature is. I'm in my garage studio, and I've got a heater that is far less than adequate. So it is pretty freaking cold. So if I start going, that's why. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about standing up for yourself, basically. This is something that a lot of people that I talk to on on the intrawebs, and people say, I just don't feel like I'm worthy of things, and I don't stand up for myself. Whenever you post, as all of us do, we're posting things on the socials, and sometimes we'll see a quote that speaks to us, and we'll post that quote, and then somebody will come on, and it's a simple quote like, you make your own luck, or you can do it, believe in yourself and all things can happen, etc., etc. And there's always people who jump on and are like just negative. They're like, no, that's not how it works. It's, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. That was Henry Ford who said that. And people are like going, well, I thought I could do it, and then I couldn't do it. And then I tried it, and it didn't work. So it doesn't work, so you're lying. It's like, no, none of that is true. You don't think you can, and you're living your life that way. That means, yes, obviously, you can't do what you think you can't do. It's very, very simple when you really break it down. And in order to be a warrior for yourself, you have to change your mindset. You have to reframe the things that you are thinking that are negative, that are pushing you down, that are keeping you stuck where you are. And what kind of things are those? The things that keep you stuck where you are looking at things through the mirror or through the prism of victimhood. So one of the first things I'm going to tell you, and this is very powerful, and this gets some people riled up, and I'm cool with that. In neurolinguistic programming, which is the study of excellence and breaking it down into its component parts, the idea is if anybody has done a thing, you can too. And it's just following the steps. And if you want a prime example of that is Tony Robbins, for example, is one of the probably the most prolific practitioner of NLP. And he has taken that and run with it and gone way past just NLP, but he still has a lot of the basics of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, in his trainings. I and my wife were both certified and taught by the people who taught Tony Robbins. So for the basics of NLP, we have that. We are certified coaches. So when I tell you these things, this is not just opinion. But one of the things that Tony did early on was he went, this is kind of famous, you can look it up, but I may get this a little bit wrong, but something like he went to the Air Force or Army sniper school. And he said, okay, I tell you what, you give me something like your worst three or something like that, and I will make them your best three. And he did that basically in like 12 hours. And what he did that I didn't know until recently, actually, was that he said, okay, I will do that. But he said, I need a month with your absolute best guys. And he spent a month with them, I think it was. Look this up again. I'm kind of going from rote here. But he spent a month, and what he did was he modeled them. He studied everything they did. When he did something, he goes, okay, you took a breath there. What were you thinking? What were you feeling at that moment? And he put this in and took all the notes and then took it to the other guys and trained them and got them to think that way, to feel that way, to become, to be the person who was successful. And he showed them how to do that. So that was an interesting thing that is like, wow, it's very, very powerful. And that's what we teach people to do. And so I'm going to teach you a little bit of that today. We're not going into, crazy, deep, in-depth coaching because I can't. It's a one-on-one thing to be able to do that. However, let me give you the workings of the warrior mindset. It all starts with cause versus effect. Now, cause means that you are 100% in charge of everything in your life. Anything that you do, anything that happens to you, and everything around you. That is up to you. And you can take that as far as you want. The sun rose today because of me. Great. If you want to go that way, fine, whatever. And the opposite end of that is effect. If you are at effect, you are 100% a victim. You are at the behest of whatever. You are just a complete victim. You are the little plastic bag blowing in the wind, whichever way it wants to go, and you have absolutely no power over anything. Now, a surprising number of people are living from that standpoint in their life. They're living from effect. And it's a dangerous place to be, and it's also very soothing because there's no responsibility there. You're not responsible for anything. If you are not doing what you want to do, it's not your fault. If you don't have any love in your life, oh, well, it's not your fault. You're at effect. If you are overweight and not happy with your health, it's not your fault. You're at the effect of something else. And it's all a complete lie because you are in charge of your life 100%. That's where I get people. That's people I go, no, I can't do it. Look, there are things that happen to people, bad things. There are, wars and, bad things are happening. People, sexual trafficking and, horrible things that are going on. Absolutely, I understand that. And it is your mindset that matters here. Let me just go from there. I'm not saying bad things don't happen to good people, of course. We don't know. There are so many other levels of this. But for our purposes today, to be a warrior for yourself, you have to take the time to believe that you are in charge of every facet of your life. That's where the power lies. See, even if something bad happens to you, no one can control your mind. And is an amazing book called Man's Search for Meaning. It was Dr. Viktor Frankl. And he was in the Nazi concentration camps. He was a doctor. So they made him do terrible things. And he also was able to save people. And he could tell you who was going to live and who was going to die by their mindset, by how they felt. Because some of them were saying, I'm going to live through this no matter what. And other ones were like, I can't take it, and they would die. And that matters. And there are other stories that I will give you with that as well. Think about it this way. There was another story, and these are kind of tragic. I mean, obviously, he lived through and wrote the book and has helped millions of people with their mindset. So, was that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. It was a thing. And he did it with his mind. And he stayed in the warrior status in his mind. There was another story, another concentration camp story. I'm going to get off of this in a second, but I wanted to share this with you. They put Jews in the boxcars, and it was incredibly cold. And one man was next to an older man, and he said they were left overnight, and he said he was just going to focus on keeping this old guy warm to save him. And he kept him warm, talked to him, and they huddled close, and he kept rubbing him, and and they woke in the morning, and he looked around, and everyone else in that cattle car was dead. They all passed away, and he and this old man were the only two left alive. And the lesson for that was he was taking control, and he was also doing it in service of someone else. So not only did that service save the other man, it also saved himself. So being of service to others matters, and it's very, very important. So standing up for yourself is an important aspect of being a warrior for your life. And by standing up for yourself, you are taking control. You're being at cause. An example of this, which I think is funny, is Gary Vaynerchuk. If you don't know who Gary V is, incredibly famous, probably one of the most famous thought leaders right now. He's a gruff guy from Jersey who made a lot of money in wine, and turned that around to this whole huge marketing business. He's brilliant. And he says, look, he says, I am so in charge of my life that if I leave and I walk out into the street and I get hit by a bus, I'm going to say, dang, I should have left earlier. That's what I'm talking about. It's that kind of ownership that matters. So how do you take control? How do you take ownership of your own life? This is where it gets hard. This is where it takes work. Anything that you've done in your life, anything that you have, anything that you are, anything that you feel, any and everything, you have to say, okay, I own this. I own this. This is up to me. You don't have any money? Okay, I own this. It is up to me. Do you want money? Yeah. Okay, I own this. It is up to me. I will make that money. I will move forward. I will make these things happen. So how do you do that? Well, you take ownership and say, it is up to me. I am the type of person that makes money. I am the type of person that is successful. And I'm going to help you with this because this is where it gets interesting. When people say you should do affirmations, which is great, absolutely. Great book called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy, old school. I may be doing an audio book of that because I believe it's in the public domain, so that will be available. And I think what's interesting about the affirmations, when you're saying an affirmation, you say, I am wealthy, I am rich, I am yada, yada, yada. Well, if your heart doesn't believe that, then it's never going to work because you're like, I am wealthy. Your heart goes, bullshit. I am rich. Bullshit. I am incredibly healthy. Bullshit. And it's like, oh, okay, I didn't realize that I'm lying to myself, which is false and which puts you right smack dab into the effect. It's a cycle, it's a circle, and you keep going, well, manifestations don't work. Yes, they do, if they're done correctly. Here's the key. So if you're going to do a manifestation, you have to do it on your heart. Just literally take your hand and put it on your heart and think, okay, I'm thinking with my heart. We're going to get into this on other podcasts. I'm going to really get into the heart work and the brain work. There's a brain in your heart, there's a brain in your gut. We're finding this out. Science is awesome and crazy. So your heart is where all the power lies. And if you don't believe what you're saying, your heart will act against it and it will fight. It's like saying, if you say to yourself, you say your name, say, my name is, and whatever your name is, you're like, oh, that's congruent. That's true. I totally get that. So your heart's like, yeah, cool, we're all good. You say, I am wealthy. Your heart goes, oh, dude, stop lying to yourself. So what you do is you pull it back. You pull it back, you pull it back, you pull it back until you have a congruent statement for your affirmations. Now let's say you say, I am going to be wealthy. Your heart may go, I don't know, I can't really tell you the future and everything. Okay. You say, well, I am the type of person that has massive wealth. Well, I don't know, maybe you're not yet. Say, okay, I believe that I can be the type of person that has massive wealth and success. Yeah, oh yeah, cool. I believe that. Yeah, I believe that you can be the type of person that has that success. When you say it that way, it resonates right with your heart. Now, you may have to go back further. I believe that I want to be that type of person. Okay, great. You definitely want to be that type of person. That's all true. So if you pull it back to that until it feels true for you, there's your affirmation. You start there. And then you go to the next step. You say, okay, I am willing to believe that I can be the type of person that has massive wealth and success in my health, love, and business. Okay, that resonates with my heart. And then you say, I believe that I can be that person Maybe that doesn't resonate with you yet, but then maybe it does. After you've done it the other way, it's like, I believe I can be the type of person. I believe I am the type of person. Oh. And your heart says, yeah, I believe you are the type of person. Cool. And you go, then I'm wealthy. No, you're not. Not yet. So don't go too forward, too far, too fast. Take baby steps. Just like when you were a kid, you had to learn to get up and walk. Well, you fell a lot. You fell over and over and over and over and over, and then you got up, and then you walked into crap, and you bumped your head, and you fell over, and you fell, and you fell, and you fell, and then you're like, okay, wow, I can kind of walk, and then you start to run, and then you bump into stuff, and you fall over, and you fall down, and then you can run, and then you run everywhere, and you're all excited. So it's the same thing with your internal aspects of your life. The same thing with your internal belief, your heart, everything that you want to be working for you to make you a warrior for yourself is in there. You have to find the first step. So do this exercise as your first step into being a warrior who is at cause for their life. You're going to fall back. You're going to fall over, fall this way and that way. It's like I did this morning. I'm totally owning that. I fell back into victim status for a little bit. I'm like, oh, dude, that ain't correct. I'm cool. So there's work to be done always in your life. Always. So you're going to continue to do that. Sometimes you will falter. That's not a failure. Did you learn from it? Yes. Awesome. It was a lesson. Move on. So there you have it. Cause versus effect. Even in your health. See, another great podcast. I always recommend Jim Fortin. He's an incredible teacher and coach. And he says, look, if you want to know what's happening on your inside, look at your outside. Do you have money? If you don't have any money, it's because that belief is inside. Do you have a good, solid relationship? If you don't, that's because you don't believe it inside. You need to believe from the inside and push it out that way. This is the way I teach in Food Game, for example, in that book right there. In dating, I say, guys, it's easy. Food Game is easy to cook for your dates and have them come over. You cook a meal, they come over, and there's your date. It's cheaper, it's easier, it's faster, it's fun, it's all the good thing. It is all good. Here's the sticking point. Guys, you have to be the type of person that a woman will come over to your apartment to be alone with you while you wield a sharp cutting tool. There is the rub. So it's like, okay, how do we teach that? How do we do that? Exactly the way I'm doing it with you right now. You internalize and become that warrior for yourself from the inside out. That is how it's going to work for you. So pull it back as far as you need to pull it back until your heart believes it, until it feels solid with you. It feels like, yeah, I can do this. I got this. Then you move forward and you take another baby step. Say, okay, I am this type of person. I am this type of person. Yada, yada, yada. It could take some time. It could take a day. I don't know. It's all up to you. Once you get on this path, you're going to learn, you're going to seek out other teachers, you're going to seek out other trainings, other books, other lessons, other podcasts, etc. And that's an awesome thing. I invite you to do that because that's very powerful for you. So, a couple other things to add to the mix is when you're a warrior, you will stand up for yourself. Once you understand that you are deserving of the things in life, you deserve to be rich, you deserve to be happy, you deserve to be successful in all realms. You deserve that. Absolutely 100%. Now, why do I say that? Why are we on this planet? Do you know? I don't. Nobody does. However, a great way of looking at why we're here is we're here to do something. We're here to learn something. We're here to serve others. Because somewhere in the ether before we were here, a decision was made. Let's say you decided to come down to earth. I decided to come down to earth. You're going to have all these lessons you're going to need to learn. Oh, by the way, you're not going to remember any of this. Poof, boom. Holy crap. What's going on? So on a deeper level, let's say all these lessons that have happened in my life have been for my betterment, for my learning. Something that I said, okay, I really want to learn how to do this. so that I can move forward in the afterlife, or on another realm, or another dimension, whatever it is. I don't know, whatever you guys believe. But if you think of it that way, we go, oh, okay, this is a test. This is a training ground. This is a lesson. So if you look at it that way, you are deserving of any and everything, because what you want is a desire that was placed in you from above. It could be from God, from source, from infinite intelligence, from the universe, whatever you want to call it. But there's a desire in you. Prime example was, I love this example. It was in The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles, or William Wattles? I forgot. It's Wattles. And he said there's a child at the piano, and he's sitting at the piano with his hands on the keys, and he's upset. And he's like, why are you upset? And he goes, I know I have the music in me. I just can't play it. And I want so badly to play it. Well, that desire is in you. If the desire is in you, then it means you have the ability to do that thing. Look at all the things we've accomplished in just the last 10 years. Some of you are young and you don't remember a time when there were no cell phones. There was no color TV. There was nothing, basically. I mean, I grew up in the 80s and the 70s. I mean, the 70s was, I remember the mid to late 70s when I was like 5, 6, 7, 8, that's when I learned about Monty Python early on. So that colored me. That's why I am quite silly in my life. But the way things are moving so fast nowadays, it's amazing. All of the things that we see, including our phones, the internet, all started out as an idea, as a desire inside somebody else. Look above. Look at these planes that are flying, these small buildings made of metal in the air and full of highly flammable fuel. And yet, they're flying thousands of them a day. That's a miracle. It is amazing. That started with somebody who had a desire inside of them, who decided to step up, be the warrior, be at cause, and make shit happen. That's who we all are. That's who you are. There is, again, Gary Vee says this a lot, there's like a 4-point-some-odd trillion to 1 chance of you even being born. So if we know this, science tells us that energy does not die. Energy only converts to other energies. So when we are here in this body, we have an energy, we have a spirit, we have a soul, etc., etc. When we die, that energy goes somewhere. We do not die. We transfer. Well, holy crap. If we're transferring somewhere else, I don't know where that is, but we're here with that power, this incredible power. And we're only starting to tap into what we can do with our mind. We use 3% of our brain? Holy moly. When you start studying how amazing humans are, it is quite fascinating and scary cool. The power that we have. There are monks that can move rocks, that can actually put their fist up against a rock and vibrate, and that rock will start to chip away. It's amazing. There is so much power within us that we haven't even tapped into yet. And the reason why we're not is because our minds are thinking too much. It's called the monkey mind, the monkey brain. It's we're all there's too much stuff going on, and we're not focusing in on our own power. That's why meditation is so powerful, and that's why meditation is becoming so popular and mainstream, because it works, because you get down to your base point, which is where your strength is. And you can tap into an awful lot when you're there. All right, real fast. I've got about just another 5, 6, 7 minutes here, so I want to go real fast. One thing I want to, all of this stuff that I have just told you, understand you deserve these things. Like I said, you deserve to be rich, happy, successful, all of that. You deserve to be in service of others. You deserve to bring amazing things to this world. You have so much within you. Your subconscious, think about this. When you see a picture of a glacier, have you ever seen a picture of a glacier that is in the water, and there's a little bitty bit on that glacier that is up top that you can actually see? And there's this huge, massive, massive amount under the water that you do not see. That is a perfect metaphor for your subconscious. Your subconscious has recorded every single thing in your life since before birth. It is all up in there. And it's amazing how, this is why therapy takes so much time for some people, because they're saying, oh, well, we've got to really unlock. We've got to find out where this came from. You go, well, it was in the womb. I heard my parents, fighting. Yes, you can hear in the womb. And it was an energetic thing. And it's like that messes people up. And we are sponges up until we're like 7 or 8. There is no cognitive thought that has, well, is this right or is this wrong? It just is. And it's all in there. So we have all this programming inside of us that we've got to rewire. And it takes some work. It's like anything else. It is a practice. I'm doing it every day. My wife does it every day. We help other people do it every day. That's what this podcast is about, helping you do it every day. These affirmation things I'm talking about, you find an affirmation that works for you, great. And do it the way I said. I am willing to believe I am that person. I believe I am that person. I am that person. I da-da-da-da-da. And you get to where it's a nice, powerful thing for you that you feel in your heart. That's going to change you. That is going to start to shift things from the inside to the outside. Another quick prime example, I was in victim mode for a long time when I moved out after my divorce, bankruptcy, losing everything, came back, had to start dating again at 35. I'm like, wow, I was scared to death. And I kept working on myself and getting better and better and better. And finally, one day, I became that person, that guy. I was like, dude, I got this. I am that person. And then I had the attitude and I started to swagger a little bit. And then I started to be attractive, etc. Because I stepped into it. And one day I finally believed. And it felt right. I was like, oh, I am this guy. Excellent. That is what will happen to you. As long as you keep with it. See, most people will do something for a little while and then stop. For example, New Year's resolutions. Do you know when they are done for 90% of the people? January 8th. 8 freaking days. A little over a week, and most people fail, quit, and give up. If you do that with your life, with your power, then nothing's going to change. Then you are, at effect, you are a victim to other people. So remember, you are worth it. In the immortal words of the Beastie Boys, you gotta fight for your right to party. And by party, I mean be the most awesome version of who you are. Make your life a party. Make your life happy. Make your life fun, rich, happy, and successful. You deserve it. You're worth fighting for because you are here and you are a miracle. Every single human being is a freaking miracle. So if that doesn't tell you that you're here, you're worth fighting for, and the desire that is inside of you is simply the infinite intelligence, your subconscious, God, whatever it is, telling you, I want this. Why do you want that? Because it's innate inside of you. And maybe that is your superpower that you need to share with the world. If you don't share it with the world, who's going to? If this podcast, for example, I put this podcast out. It is currently February in 2020. And it goes out in the ether and it's there. 10 years down the road, somebody plays this and changes their life. How amazing is that? And that's totally doable. It happens. People are still watching Les Brown's video from like the 80s, which is phenomenal. You have greatness within you. You need to watch that. It's in the Superdome or the Georgia Dome, something like that. It's amazing. In front of 80,000 people. Fantastic. Les Brown. The point is, if I didn't do this, if I didn't ever release that, maybe someone wouldn't get that message. Maybe it was at the wrong time. Maybe something bad would happen to them. Maybe suicide even, which I reject completely. But it was, whatever it is, maybe this message needs to be heard by somebody. Maybe some of you are resonating very well with this message today. Maybe this could be that unlocks your life so that you can move forward. So do the things that I've said today. Remember, to be a warrior for your own life, you got to stand up for yourself. Protect your boundaries. Be at cause. You are worth it. You have it. You have everything within you. Fight for it because it's the right thing to do. And you got this. All right. Thank you so much for joining my podcast today. I look forward to seeing you on the next one with some more tidbits and some fun insights I hope that will help you out immensely. Take care. Have an amazing day. Go do something extraordinary. Bye-bye. There we go, guys. Turn the heater back on because damn, it's cold up in here. All right. Hey, Juicy Poops. What's up? So, that's it, guys. That was my podcast for today. I hope you guys got something out of it. If you have any questions or want to chat about it right now, let's do that. But if not, I'm going to cut this short today because, as I said, I'm freaking cold up in here. And I got to go make some amends on the inside. And that's about it, man. Woo, what a day. What a day, what a day, what a day. Anyway, guys, if you could do me a favor and tell your friends, share, go on my, on my Twitter feed or my Spike Spencer business page. Share that with some friends. Share that I'm doing Twitch live 3 times a week and let them know that my podcast is up and running. I'll be doing some more posts very, very soon about my podcast because I've got the cover done. I'm going to start shooting it out there and making it work. Family and boundaries don't mix well. Yes, they do. Of course they do. You just have to make them clear and understand that when people say, hey, this is my boundary and I don't like it when you do this. So I told you, if you do this, I'm going to do this. That's it. So I'm in the middle of doing that right now. We have a family member who we had boundaries. They broke the boundaries. We said, well, if you do this, we're going to do this. And we've been doing this ever since. So cancel the giveaway for today. Have it up and running properly for Sunday stream. Okay. Tech difficulties, sorry guys, no problem. We will work it out. There will be giveaways in the future. There'll be a lot more. Once I get things up and running like my friend Lobro, I will have a lot going on. I'm learning Twitch as I go. I'm learning podcasting. I'm learning all of this as I go because this is so far outside of my comfort zone, I can't even tell you. It's really a lot of new stuff. I mean, you guys on Unlocked, I've been doing Unlocked for a long, long time, and yet I'm still having, very, very few viewers, which you guys are awesome. Thank you for coming out. And you guys here on Twitch, thank you for coming out. Because I had somebody say, well, why are you even doing this? There's nobody there. I'm like, because they're awesome. That's why. Because you guys are awesome, and I have a message. So let's do it, And it's funny, when I was in high school, and I was training in theater and acting, and now through college, there was one thing that was always drilled into us from the beginning. They said, it doesn't matter if there is one person in that audience. You are going to do that play like it is full. And I'm so proud of my wife because we were at a con, and she was doing her panel, and it was on a big stage. And so there's seats, there's 300-400 seats, maybe 500 seats out there. And she gets up there, and there is one person in the audience. One. She starts talking. And then another person comes in, and she's talking, and she is going like that place is full. And then one of those guys left. She is going like the place is full. We got it on tape. She delivered it. She was amazing. And so then that one person came up and said, thank you so much. I needed to hear that message today. He was having family troubles. Something was going on. He was in a really, really bad spot. He needed to hear that, and she delivered. That's why. That's why. Because my wife is amazing. Is it an awesome message? What is the message? Jimmy Ricardo, is it an awesome message? Is what an awesome message? I don't know. Is it an awesome message? You tell me. Okay. Well, since I am really getting cold here, I'm going to go ahead and zip it up. You're the one with a message. Is it an awesome message? You're the one with a message. Not sure what you're going for, Jimmy. I have a message, always, and I delivered one today. So that was my message. And I am going to have many, many more coming, guys. All right, guys, have a wonderful day. Like I said, go out and do something extraordinary, amazing. Have a blast today. And I will see y'all next time. Adios, muchachos. Adios, muchachos.